Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to cover the topic of upgrading gear and how this system works, and also how to get the resources for them. I got this inspiration from one of my comments. Somebody asked me how to get the materials for it and that it's very hard. So let's go over it. I mean, generally it is hard, but there are ways to do it. So first of all, let's talk about what that system is. When you have normal characters, obviously you can equip them with gear. And the strongest type of gear is this legendary gear. Now, legendary gear is completely different than any other types of gears because you can promote it. And as you can see, when you promote it, you basically get double the strength. And then you can also do gear refinement on the left here. Now, as this description says, you need to have all 4 of your gear items with 5 stars. So you need to basically upgrade them or enhance them until they reach level 5. And once they reach level 5, you also need to promote them. You can promote them earlier or not. To get, you see, there are these promotion tokens. They're not really that easy to get, but there are ways to get them. They're kind of expensive, but you know. So let's talk about it. First of all, in order to promote the gear of your characters and to get these tokens, you're mainly going to be buying them either at the shop. So you're going to be buying them either here for gems or in the guild store. Guild store usually sells them, and when you refresh them, you can get different ones. Road to be strong, in the shop here, it doesn't offer it, but when you're doing Road to be strong, like almost every time you're going to be encountering a type of a mall, and that mall is almost always going to offer you that as an option. So basically that's how you would be getting those promotion materials. And as you pass the stages, I believe that in some of the completed missions or objectives, basically you'll be getting them as well from the milestones. So you can see example here, a clear floor of 180 with 4 different types of characters, so you get some of these. And then obviously from some events or items, you might get them. I can't really remember if any event provided me with them. I don't think it has, but it is possible that some way you're gonna bag them. So basically the way you would be going around those is mainly buying them from the malls or on the Road to be Strong. Road to be Strong almost always offers a discount, so if you can grab them there, that's even better. And then Guild Store, I guess this is the, well, this is the best and cheapest way possible to, you know, get them. So with that said, we have covered how to get those. Now, secondly, I was asked how to get the enhancement materials. This is also pretty straightforward. So the blue ones, which are less important and weaker, you can get from Extreme Trial. So the more Extreme Trial you do, you see, you're getting a lot of these gear enhancement materials. So you need to make sure to do the Extreme Trials, all 10 levels, every single day for all of these. Now, sometimes it can get challenging, but remember, even though you're limited to using only a certain type of characters, what can definitely help you is obviously putting those characters in the battle wheel so they all get higher levels. You can also look into making good team combinations. And then if you have upgraded those characters to a decent level, so let me give you an example. Her, I'm not using her in my main team, but I can equip her with chips. So I would basically go ahead, I would remove the all the chips from her, give it to the other one, and then she would basically get almost 10k power from the chips. So, well, not really 10k because her stats are weaker, but it's gonna help you hugely. So that's what you need to do. You need to farm Extreme Trials every single day. That's very important in order to get those materials. And also one very cool thing that usually people ignore is buying them from the general store. Now, I'm not saying buying them for gems here because I can't really say they're worth the gems. I wouldn't be spending gems on this, but they're definitely worth the money. So, you know, you see, for example, these two below, they both cost 8K. So these two, when I buy them, 8K gold, right? When I buy these two, they're gonna give like 1,000 each, so it's basically 10,000 per one of these buys, and for two of them, it's 20,000. So this is something that really does help, and you basically want to snipe them every single day here in the store. Now, as you can see, I have tons of money. So for example, if I refresh this just for the sake of this video, I could buy them again, and you get the idea of how easy this would be for me because I have so much money, and then I can also refresh it many times. So you see how easily I could farm these materials. That's basically how I would be getting the enhancement materials for the gear. Obviously, feel free always to browse the shop, see what's what's provided here, and feel free to buy some stuff, right? Sometimes it's worth holding on, and usually I hold on if I'm not certain if I'm going to be needing those or not. But it is what it is. Sometimes you have to risk it and maybe not go all in temporarily until you learn more about the game. But once you do, you're going to be pretty confident. So let's talk about the next step where you can easily buy these breakthrough chips as well. You can buy them for Refinery Store. They're not really that expensive. They are, but in a way they're not, because every single day what you would want to do is you would go to the recruit page, you would go to Refinery, and then you would go to essence conversion, because when you do autofill here, well, you don't have to autofill it, but you're basically going to be sacrificing gear and you're going to be getting these essences. And these essences can then be used in shop. Now, currently, I'm mostly spamming them for these energy alloys. I need energy alloys to upgrade my gear, and I'm going to explain that a little bit later. But basically, from this page here, you could also be buying these gear modification chips, which can help you change the type of the gear. And these breakthrough chips are for promotion. Energy alloy is for refining it further, and then you have the breakthrough alloy, which is also very important. And you can buy this stuff for gems. If you have tons of gems, this is definitely a good investment, because let's say, for example, I think I can buy 10, right? It's not gonna kill me. So I buy 10, and then I can go here and temper it and get all of these rewards. So this is a thing I pushed heavily early in the game. So let's get back to the system. This reminded me that I haven't maybe explained it good. So in order to actually be able to get the gear refinement on the left option, not only do all of these need to be level 5 and promoted, but they also have to be the same type of character that your character is, right? So if she is physique character, all of these have to be physique. Now you can see character type bonus is physique. This item is perfectly well. This one doesn't even have it activated, so this is basically, I think, a useless item. So far I haven't found any way to activate its type bonus, so I think it's useless. I might be wrong, but I think it's useless. And then here you can see, for example, it's a weapon type. So I would not be able to, even if I promoted this and upgraded it to all 5, I would not be able to use it for gear refinement. So what you can do is recast it, and this uses that drill item that you can buy in the refinery shop as well, and you get it from quests and stuff, And then, when you match the type, in this case it would be physique, then it would be good to go. So once you have all of those gear sets, basically, of the same type of character, and all 5-star, and you have promoted all of them, then you can click on the left the gear refinement option. Now once you click the gear refinement option, what is basically going to be shown is this screen. So your character loses its gear, so to say. The gear is absorbed. I never tried this. Confirm finder to reset gear refinement levels and star ratings. After rest materials, well, I think it's still going to be consumed, so I think you can't get back. You can't get the gear back. I think so. I haven't really done it. So basically, you get this screen, and you would then basically be clicking the level up button to upgrade the levels and gain a lot of stats. So on the left, you can see there's like 2.6k that I've gotten from this. So yeah. It uses money, and then it uses this energy alloy, and I have shown you how to get the energy alloy. You get energy alloy either by doing the tempering from the refinery, or in the store you can buy lots of it here. So this is a really good thing. Usually the refinement of the levels costs a lot less, maybe 200, then later on it advances. But there are these breakthrough levels. Level 15 is a breakthrough level. It's going to give me huge power, but that's why it's very expensive. So just so you know, it's not that harsh. And for example, you can see here Genas only costs 200 because he's only on the low level. This is not an easy mechanic to implement fully. I would say be smart on where you start doing this. Use it mainly on, I would say, your nuke heroes or your main heroes that are meant to break through the campaign. And I would also give advice, always have around 2 very strong characters, because as you progress later in the game, when you want to clear stages, for example, right here, I have to beat them with all 3 teams. So it's like, I can't really put all my balls in one basket, right? Team 1, I put, for example, her because she's my biggest source of strength. You see how strong she is when I put her. And then in my second team, I have this guy. See, he has like a majority of the power. And then in the third team, I obviously put all the other strong characters I have, and I'm trying to make a base with her. I got her from an event, and I think she's pretty decent. So yeah, that's basically how the gear refinement system works. And then once you reach, I believe it is level 30 of refinement, you will not be able to upgrade it further until you have enhanced basically the I think is it here? I think, yeah, let's try it. I think Boros, I can't level up Boros right now. So even if I go, you see I have the materials and I click level up and it doesn't allow me because it requires the star rating. So to do star ratings, I would basically need to upgrade him like 5 or 6 times, like for each of these spaces once, with the breakthrough alloy, which is extremely expensive and very, very hard to get. You have only a very small chance to get it from refining here. You see only 0.1% chance, and then you can buy it in the store, but it costs 40k, so it's not really that easy to get. It takes time, you know. I've been playing the game for like more than a month now, and I have only upgraded her gear refinement to the next level. I didn't have enough materials for the others, so that's it. And then obviously you have the polishing stuff. You need these materials for polish. You're going to be getting them. I've never actively tried to get them, so you're just going to get them as you play. You're going to figure it out yourself. It's not really that hard. I think they're given mostly from the Uncharted Wonders. Yeah, they are from here. So right now daily I just click it once and that's it. When it comes to polishing, obviously I can't tell you what the perfect stats are because every character might need different stats, and you can use this information button to see what stats you can have in every single position. So in position 1, for example, the final HP can be 50% at I think what they would say a normal max level, and then at the max level in the red zone it can be 30, so double it. Basically the way you polish it, you just click polish. So if I go to her, for example, to Gear Refinement, I haven't used polishing on her yet, which, you know, I did it for the video. So basically you would just click polish and then the stats would appear. Now, if you're not happy with them, you can just polish it again. And since I have tons of these, I think I'm going to be RNGing them a lot until I get really good stats for her. And then you can also do directed polish, which is basically you lock something. Well, no, that's a different thing. You can lock items or slots, and when you lock them, it's going to cost this other stable alloy, which you can also get in the shop. But it's also pretty expensive, and usually it's not that easy. So Because when you're going to be spamming polish until you get at least 3 stats that are really good, or 2 stats, and just like polishing the 2 is not easy. And trust me, I've refined this. I've done it many times. It's not just not worth it. So I'm mainly going to be using the polishing until I get the 4 good stats. So what are the good stats? Well, that's a very good question. Depends on the character, depends on what he's doing, what she's doing, and stuff like that. So basically, I do have to use her as a type of a bombardment nuker. I need her to have a lot of damage. Obviously, I want her to have survivability as well. She's good at stun, and she's the main core of my other team. So I need her to get the attack. Let's see. So the first best slot, I guess it would be final HP. Or just, yeah, final HP is always better than HP, because final HP applies after all the bonuses, and the HP is, I don't know, HP applies, I guess, before some bonuses. You see, a percentage bonus added to characters' HP after all other bonuses have been added, including collection, essence, laboratory, limiter. So it's always, I guess it's always better to do final HP. You can experiment with it, right? Especially if you have a lot of these, so you can see how much HP she's going to be getting. Then in the second one, you can enhance shields or stuff like that. I guess defenses or final defense again is the best option here. I would say it's probably going to give her the most survivability. I would also go here for final attack. I mean, later in the game, once you have characters extremely empowered, I guess penetration damage might be better or something like that. But right now, this character is in early development, so she doesn't need those stats, right? She needs the most basic raw increase in power. So yeah, let's see what we can get her done. So right now she has attack, that's not that strong. Okay, again, accuracy, penetration damage, not really. Well, penetration might be good. The problem is I don't know how much percentage does she gain from penetration. That's the problem, because it says like, it doesn't say it, right? That sucks. So I'm gonna continue polishing her further, right? Don't show it again today, blah blah. So still not what I want. Defense is pretty good there. Defense again, critical resist, no, we need attack. So we have final attack, final def, HP. This is a lot better, but it's not exactly where we want it yet to be. So we're just gonna continue refining it further. We need better stats, guys. Damage resist, final def, final attack. This is something that's relatively decent, but I have 2 greens, so not really gonna stick with those. So attack here is amazing, but well, this is basically a type of the setup I would want. I want her to have crit, I want her to have attack, I want her to have final def, and I want her to have either HP or final HP. Now, obviously, depending on how much HP she has in general, that can vary, right? She has 2.9k, and adding this amount of k, I don't think it's the best one. So now we have final HP, so she would probably be getting a lot more final HP. Yeah, you see, final HP is almost better than the other one, and as you level her up in other zones, it's always gonna win. But yeah, so I'm not sure if I should stop the video now. It's getting too long, but who wants to watch, you can continue here, right? I guess I'm gonna be spamming this until I get what I want, and kind of getting close to it. Attack is when, she has this much attack, and this is around 10%, so no, we're gonna be doing it again and again until we get what we want. Final attack is low, final HP, final def. Now these two are pretty decent, but they're not good enough, so we're just gonna be RNGing away until we get what we want to get, guys. Final def, final attack, pretty good. parry. Yeah, no, we want to go for HP. But parry might be actually really good stat, to be honest. This would be almost amazing, except this critical damage is not as good, and the final defense is not that strong. I could go and do like a directed one, but I'm not sure if it's worth it on her. These are even harder to fucking get, so I don't know, man. Like, let's do it for the sake of the video, but I'm not sure. It might be better used on my other characters. I think it would be better used probably on her. Maybe to go for the defense or accuracy, and then for him, I did increase his active skill damage. You might ask why, because he has penetration to the defenses of the enemy, so I thought it would probably be good enough, but I'm not sure how much does that actually boost him. So yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna have to be doing this further. I skipped something, which is not good. Well, as you can see, this can be kind of troublesome until you get the stats that you want. A lot of RNG here. I could be doing the direct polishing or locking some things up, but it costs a lot, right? I mean, even if I lock it, I can only do it for the one more polish, and usually it's not going to be enough, so I'd rather save them if I ever need them later on. So yeah. Final death, increased active damage, no. Final attack, HP relatively decent, reduced active skill damage received. Accuracy, I mean, I don't know, it can be better than this. So I'm probably gonna stop it at here. I think this is relatively decent. Attack, final HP, defense. Obviously, I do think that the final, basically final attack or final defense would be better than this, but I do have final HP in the red, and I also have the crit, so these are basically all the stats I want. So I think I'm gonna stop this video at here, but later on I might actually try and polish her again, probably somewhere in the future. So thank you for watching. This should mainly be it. You're also gonna get some skills when you do Gear Refinement, and when you enhance them to a decent enough level, you're going to be upgrading their skills. So you know, that's kind of it. It's all for the Gear Refinement. Not much more to say, guys, here. Remember to use them all. Buy these materials daily, right? I can do it again for the sake of the video, but usually I would just log in daily, and every single day I'd make sure I buy this stuff from this store. I have lots of money. And you might ask how to get money. You need to spam Extreme Trial. Extreme Trial gives a lot of money, especially when you push it later on. So it's mainly Extreme Trial and then buying from the store, and that's mainly it. And yeah, don't forget to do guild stages, right? Guild stages give you a lot of gear. You need this gear to be converted to the essence, and then also obviously you can use gear as well for the enhancement materials of other gears. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.